Folks, welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. If you are new here, my name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. We've been building this business for the last 6 years. It's been a crazy journey to get here. We predominantly sell pre-loved clothing. We sell a lot of other things too. We have an e-waste business. We do a whole bunch of different things. But welcome to my chaotic warehouse. As I said, we've been building this business for the last 6 years, and the purpose of these videos are two things. Number one, I'm documenting that journey. I've been documenting it since day one in different styles and approaches, but I take you along each week, each day, what I'm doing, the decisions I'm making, why I'm making those decisions, and just as I work towards building the dream that I have. Now that's probably going to look very, very different to maybe how you build your business or how other people build their business, and that's okay because there's no one perfect way to do all of this. We continue to pivot, we continue to change, we continue to adapt, and we continue to grow. And I like to document and share that, and it helps keep me motivated and accountable in order to get to where I want to go. The second reason why I do this is to motivate, encourage, inspire, and hopefully give you the inspiration to go after whatever it is that you want to do. You don't have to be doing what I'm doing, selling pre-loved clothing on eBay or reselling or anything like that. It's whatever you want to do, right? But the idea is that we started from zero, or I started from zero, built the business, built the team, and put everything together to make this happen. And every day is a new day. We're learning lots, always, facing new challenges and having to figure out what to do. And I want to give you the encouragement as I do that for myself, that you can do it yourself. So that's really the intention here. If that sounds like something you're interested in, plus we talk a lot about eBay, we talk a lot about reselling, all these different things, this is probably the content for you. We have timestamps down below. You can jump around. If you have any questions or anything, I will do my best to help. But as I said, I'm not here to tell you how to do it. I'm just here to share the journey. So today is Monday, the 1st of June. It's just after 7 o'clock. I've just gotten in. Crazy times. We've just finished May. It is the last month for FY26, which means it's going to be a really, 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 really big month because there's a lot of things that I want to change before we kick off the new financial year. We're moving to a company in the new financial year. We're going to be changing things up. We're working on maybe even changing our business model completely. There's a lot of things that are happening in parallel, but it's an exciting time. And again, I'm going to document that journey. So weekend has been pretty good. We've actually got a lot of eBay live sales that we're going to send out, but we also run a whole bunch of auctions, and we also have a whole bunch of sales over the weekend. So we did finish strong, not exactly where I wanted to, but it was our best month ever in terms of sales and revenue, etc. Profit, we're still waiting for the fees, the final fees to come through, which comes through in a couple of business days. But I think, we've done all right, probably around that 10% margin. So we're sitting on 141,623. We've got 122 orders to go out. 85 of those are probably, maybe actually less than that, might be about 65 is eBay Live, and the rest of that is all on eBay Core, with about 15 of those being probably auctions that we did last night, just trying to move a whole bunch of stuff. So like I said, we are working to shuffle some things up, so starting to clear out a lot of this stuff here. So more on that as it happens. Today, the big challenge is just do postage. That's what my goal is. I'll have my team in here around 9 o'clock. They'll be doing photos. I'll probably have Dion help with some other sorting stuff. And yeah, my goal today is really just postage. And we're actually doing our first Monday eBay live show as well. So lots of moving pieces, lots of things happening. It's going to be a big week, folks. We've got lots of stock here to go through as well. Very grateful for the team. I'm just going to get things set up, charging, and then we're going to get into the day. What a day. What a weekend as well. But appreciate being here. Let's buckle up and go for a ride. All right, team. I've got to get things set up and ready to go. So just turning things on, getting things on charge. But as I said, it's a new week, but it's a new month, and it's the final month before the end of financial year, which, I mean, any new month always gets me a little bit scared, just because, you've got to start from zero again. And I want to encourage people that you need to use that as momentum. Use and leverage that, because when you finish a month, especially if you do your best month, you know what you're capable of achieving. Now, of course, there's circumstances in which give you that result, and sometimes you can't you cannot match it perfectly, replicate it, but you should then ask yourself, well, what did work and what didn't work? So I just wanted to share very quickly, and I will be taking you through the financials for the month a bit later. I'm just waiting for my my fees and stuff to come through, which will be in a couple of days. but we ended up doing, by the looks of it, I think we ended on $56,491. It's probably actually a bit more than that because there were some sales that came through like late night last night at midnight, and I haven't put them into the system yet. So it's probably actually going to be closer to about 56,600, I think. I'm actually just, I've been in the city over the weekend, so I haven't really been on the details of this, but it looks like, yeah, there was probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more orders. So it might be a little bit higher, actually. We might be close to 56,700, but I'll take you all through that later. So that was our best month ever. In terms of where we're looking to be in the bottom line, we're probably close to being, yeah, around that, hopefully around that 10% mark, but it'll probably drop a little bit with fees and stuff. So probably walk away with about 4K net, which is nice after paying all the staff, after all the expenses, which is really good, you know, like, because we've changed a lot of things. We've had some big challenges over the last few months, and still being able to recoup that is really good. Anyway, I'm going to get set up, start to pull out orders and things like that. I'll take you through it all. I left here Friday night in a rush, so I just need to get things sorted, and then we'll get into it. All right, team, so we've now got everything out. There's quite a fair bit. This is purely just eBay Core. This does not include eBay Live. So we've got lots of sweatshirts going out, lots of smaller women's stuff. We've got some button shirts, lots of fleece, lots of pants, lots of jeans, lots of corduroy, lots of North Face. A good variety of different brands, but mainly fleece and pants is the big. I mean, we've got some Ralph and just some everyday stuff, just some women's smaller stuff. We've got some hi-fi stuff going out. One of these went for 300 and a bit, and the other one went for 99, I think it was. Some books, magazines, that's all from the auction stuff. We've got this North Face puffer going out, and another North Face puffer going out. So lots of winter wear. In terms of the total of these items, that is non-eBay Live, so eBay Core, there was, oh, that's a bit more than I expected. There's actually 61 items there. And 61 items, which is pretty good. And in terms of the average under 100 days, there was 28 under 100, so almost 50%. And the average on those were 39 days. The items that have been sitting around for longer than that, more than 100 days, that is, the average time cycle on those was 251. So some really old stuff, and a lot of this is, some of this is consignment stuff that we just had sitting around for a long time, so we just flogged it. Matchbox cars, some random toys and bits and bobs, and we'll be liquidating a lot of that stuff over the next month. I mean, the whole idea of June is to really just liquidate inventory, finalize stock tag, get as much cash back in the bank, and then be ready for the new financial year. So all in all, pretty happy with that, all things considered. I mean, from eBay Core, we've got a total of looks to be about 2,240, oh no, a bit more than that actually. Looking at $2,537 worth of sales. And eBay Live was obviously a bit more than that. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's get this picked, packed and post, and then we'll go on to eBay Live. All right, team, all of the postage except for eBay Live is now done. So we've got this, we've all of that. We've got one bag over there, and then we've got another bag over there full. It's now time to start eBay Live stuff, which is still about another 80 orders. We've got stuff here, basically all of this, and there as well. And then there's a little bit over here. It shouldn't take too long. A lot of this is just going to go in large boxes, so it's really just going to be boxes probably. There's a couple of people that have purchased 1 or 2 items, which might fit into some satchels, but yeah, pretty happy. And then that's done, and then we start prepping for the next show. All right, team, postage is now done for eBay Live as well. Had lunch, had a break, etc., etc. Now I'm just going to get this ready for the next show, get things all flat laid out, and then move on to some next tasks. All right, team, this show is now ready to go. We've got lots of button-up shirts and some pretty cool stuff in here. We've got some Polo, we've got some Slipknot, some BMW, Turbine, FJ Holden Club collector's piece, some puffer jackets, lots of button shirts, lots of pants and shorts, some shoes, some hats. Should be a good fun one. I think it's going to be a good one. All right, team, postage is now all gone. And now I'm just doing some final admins, just doing some consignment stuff, and e-waste stuff, just some number entering and whatever. Show will be commencing in about 30 minutes. So just getting that done, and then yeah, it's wet and wild here. It's actually getting real cold too, so I'm gonna have to start wearing jeans at this point, I think, just to keep things a little bit more warmer. Anyway, I'm gonna get this stuff done, and then we'll be going live. So I'll probably just check in with you once, either before going live or at the end of it, and take you through the results. All right, team, let's go live. Wish us luck. All right, team, that is it. I am all done. We've done $837, and I think it was 77 items. So it was probably about a $10 ASP. So not huge amounts, but a lot of it was from 3 lots. It was stock take, it was a consignment lot, and then it was stuff that we get through an op shop clearance. So just stuff that we help move on behalf of others. So all in all, a lot of it's just going to be quite split. Some of it's from our own cost of good. A lot of the others just kind of like we're just selling things on behalf of others, so we split it. Now, once we process, all the postage and fees and all that, it's probably going to work out to be, so it's 837. Postage will probably be about $260. Then there'll be a little bit of fees. So I think the net's going to be probably around $500, give or take. I should walk away around about $250, and the others should walk away about $250. But of course, that's split between multiple people. But 2 hours, $250, still averaging about, it's basically, from all the shows that I'm doing, we're averaging about $200 an hour for my time profit. That's purely based off isolation. And, revenue per hour is about $353. So average show, including all the big stuff and the low end shows, we're doing about $706, which, I want to try and get that to $1,000. My shows with my main client that I do this with, we're sitting at about an average of 1,000, almost 100. So, but at the moment we're averaging close to $1,600 per week with the shows. I want to get that to 3,000 at least, and we're doing every 90 days. We're doing about $20,000 of just eBay Live. So yeah, again, have a goal to try and make that close to $50,000 to $60,000 would be the goal by the end of the financial year, at least, to have that as an extra $50,000, $60,000 by the financial year of next year, FY27. That's the goal. I have no idea. At the moment, we're doing 20, so we're going to be doing about 3 times the amount in sales. Now, that could be ASP or volume. So there's a lot of things there to fix and do better, but it's a nice little goal to have. At the moment, I'm very happy because we've got no baseline, right? So this is really where it's at. I'm going to go pick Carla up. That's it from me, team. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Another big day. I'll see you all tomorrow. And just like that, it was Tuesday. Oh, it's cold. All right, so another big day today. I've got a meeting. I've got to head out at around 12, catching up with John. It's been a while. John the reseller, and catching up for lunch and just doing a little bit of a deal. Have a bit of a yap and banter, I guess, too. And main priority for me today is eBay Live focus. Just with obviously sending out orders, prepping, planning. I've got to do also some consignment work today, because it's the start of the month, so I pay out my consignments. Yes, we have consignments. There's a fair chunk of our business that has consignments. Later in this week, I think Dan and I are going to be doing a big clean around of all this. There's stuff everywhere at the moment, but good thing is everything's on wheels, so it makes it a lot easier. I've got both Dion and photographer in today. So yeah, that's really kind of what we're focusing on, and just continuing to sell before the end of financial year. See if we can get some good progress there. And yeah, other than that, I mean, I think I've got to do a fair bit of admin work as we start to prep to move to a company and things like that. So there's a lot of things I'm going to be doing at the desk, which is a little annoying, but it's needed and it's required. So eBay in itself has been pretty quiet, other than obviously having eBay Live. But yeah, we've only had like 2 or 3 sales overnight. So a bit weird there. Not sure what's going on, but like everything, roller coaster ride. All right, I'm gonna get settled in, and we'll get into this. Oh, it is cold. It is really cold. I should have worn jeans. So, there is actually a comment I wanted to read out and just remind people how there is just some, I don't know, it's just a very weird comment and just inappropriate, to be honest. And I just want to remind people that, sure, you're entitled to your opinion, but not at the expense of other people's, just at the expense of other people. I don't think it's appropriate. We had a comment come through. Obviously, I've irritated this person because we have a pre-loved business. That's what they've said. I love it. I love this stuff, how it just triggers certain people. So this person said pre-loved is so irritating as a name is used when a name is used for a clothing shop, for a used clothing shop. It sounds so incredibly stupid and only a woman would think it sounds good. Great if you only want to sell women's clothing. What a pathetic, non-value adding comment. And I love how this person's turned this whole word into a whole personality assessment. And look, you don't have to like it. I mean, that's fair enough. But I don't understand why you're associating it to like a gendered dig. It's just very unnecessary, and it really says more about the individual than it does of anything else. We sell a lot of women's clothing. And pre-loved, I think people need to understand that pre-loved is one of the largest growing segments, or pre-owned or pre-loved or second-hand, like sectors in the market at the moment. Like if I look this up right now, pre-loved clothing, future opportunity. Pre-loved clothing market has experienced explosive growth, projected to be worth over $360 billion globally by 2030. So if you haven't thought that pre-loved clothing is a key element to the future of actually making money, you've thought wrong. You've thought wrong. Anyway, team, I'm going to get set up. I'm going to start doing some work. Like I said, I've got to do some admin work. So I've got to do my consignment payouts, just go through reporting and start to send out emails. And yeah, then we'll do some postage. All right, folks, I've done some of the consignment stuff, but now I'm just going to start doing some postage. We actually only have like 1, 2, 3, like 7 items to go out other than eBay Live, which was it's a bit quiet, it's a bit weird. But lots of winter stuff, of course. And then we've got the eBay Live. So I'm going to get this happening. It's a total of 78 items to send out. All right, now it's time to do all the eBay Live orders. So all of this, so this, a little bit there, a couple things over here as well. So shouldn't take too long, actually. A lot of this should just get, what, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 customers. So all right, team, finished all the postage. I've actually just nicked out earlier than expected. John told me that he's available whenever I am, and I finished early, so I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna go straight there now, catch up with him, do what we're doing, and then get back and I can do all the live prep. And then I've got my laptop guy coming around 2 o'clock as well. So yeah, good little way to just break things up a little bit. There's so many things I've got to be doing, but keen to do this as well because I'm doing a deal with him, he's doing a deal with me, we're catching up, everyone's going to win, everyone's going to have some fun. Plus, I haven't seen the man in a long time, so excited to catch up with him. All right, other things on my mind. Also just been continuing to, well, I did some of the admin stuff this morning, but just been thinking about a few other things that need to be doing. So I'm going to have to block out a fair bit of time this week when I'm not doing lives to just do some work, like the admin work I've got to get done. Trying not to do that stuff in the evenings because I'm just too tired. And plus I want to spend the evenings doing, you know, relaxing and resting and all that kind of stuff. So, but at the same time, it's like, you know, setting up a company and doing all these different things and planning, like, you know, it's not like it's every day. So I really want to make sure I'm doing the right stuff and putting in the time, the efforts, the due diligence to make all this stuff happen the right way, to avoid any issues and things like that. So yeah, that's that. All right, Tim, I'm gonna head on over and see John, and I'll check in afterwards. All right, team, I am back, and now it's time to prep for the two shows. So I've got to go through this and curate two shows for this week, both Wednesday and Friday. In doing so, I need to, kind of just figure out what's going to go in each show. So that's just because they were just trying to send as much as possible with the amount of time that they had. So, yeah, I'm going to start to do that, prep for that. All right, team, so I've got my first show set up. There's some cool stuff in this one. We've got some jackets. We've got a whole bunch of NRL stuff, lots and lots of hats in this one. And then the second box will be for the show on Friday. I also just sold a really big unit for $495. It's getting picked up tonight at 5:30. So I've just been dealing with that. Also had my laptop guy come, and he picked up some, well, mainly just chargers actually, because we didn't really have that much. So pretty good, actually. Nice little win there. And I'm now just going to create the content for this, get that done, finalize the postage because that's getting taken by someone else. And yeah, happy days. All right, team, that is a wrap. I'm going to go drop this one off for a meetup, pick up only because it was over 24 kilos. They paid $495 for that one, which is pretty cool. That one came through like a deceased estate kind of situation. And I've just had one of my team members, they've taken the post on the way home. Just make sure everything's all done over here. So tomorrow we are gonna have to do some washing prep. We're nearly out of volume. A lot of this is actually empty boxes. I know it doesn't look like it, but a lot of this we've got to go through, clean up, sort through. So that's gonna be the next couple of days as well. And obviously got a live tomorrow. We still have some boxes over here. So look, there's still some things we can make up, but we're really in the last parts of our stock, and I really don't want to buy any more before end of financial year. But anyway, that's it from me, team. Today's turned out, I mean, it's not going too bad now that we had a bigger sale. It's kind of picked things up a little bit. Oh, it's cold. Let's see where we're at. So today we've done $815, 9 sales, very, very small volume, but, you know, not too bad, all things considering. And for the month so far, we're sitting on 2,200. So, I mean, day 2, we're doing, you know, basically 1,100 a day. So we are a bit behind schedule of where I'd like to be, but once we do eBay Live, I think things will start to pick up a little bit. And we'll get back into our routine. So anyway, that's it from me, team. I'm about to leave. I'm just finishing up some admin before I go meet this person. See you in a jiffy. Folks, it is Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday. Today is another big day. Hopefully going to be doing a bit of a shuffle and clean up of this, get the team helping. We'll all do it together. We'll see how that goes though, because I've been saying that for a while and it hasn't happened, but different priorities. All right, so I've got both Dion and photographer in today. They'll be continuing on with this stretch of stuff. We've actually been getting through quite a bit of some of the box stuff that I had come through a couple of weeks ago, which is more consignment, but it doesn't need to be washed. So we're actually processing that pretty quick just while we can, and obviously saving a little bit of dollars, not having to send out washing. But there is still a few more boxes of stuff that we do need to send out for washing. So we'll probably need to do a little bit of that today as well. Obviously I have my show. Oh, wow. Here's a big one. Obviously I have my show today as well. That's not till 4 o'clock. So that's all ready to go, but I've got to prep for the women's show for tomorrow as well. So there's always lots of moving pieces, as you know. In terms of how we went last night, we've actually had a little bit of a pickup this morning. We've actually had 4 or 5 sales this morning already, which is a nice little start to the day. We're sitting on $142,168. We've got 13 orders to go out, which is I'm very grateful for, which is good because it's been more than what we've had over the last couple of days. And yeah, so I'm probably going to just get stuck onto that shortly, but I do have one more consignment piece that I need to spend time to do, and that's what I'm going to do first because that one takes the longest. That's our camera project. So I'm going to spend time to do that, and then we'll get into the day. All right, team, it's been a little bit. Done all the consignment stuff now, and also had a customer come. They purchased some stuff. The team's in there now doing their things, and I've now pulled out everything that we're sending. So there is quite a few orders there to go, which isn't too bad. Looks like 15 items. A lot of North Face, a lot of sweaters, jumpers, knits. We did sell a couple of jackets, nice little Patagonia and Fletcher Jones jacket. So yeah, not too bad when you get these packed up. All right, team, postage are all done. Just got all this wrapped up. That's getting picked up tomorrow morning. And we've also got our media guy coming tomorrow. So hopefully all of this will be gone. The bins will be gone. This will be gone. And then we've got all the media getting picked up, which is a combination of in there. And we've got more media down here and over there. So that should clear out a lot of space for tomorrow, actually. Plan now is, for me, for the rest of the day, is just getting ready for the next shows, and then we're also going to be doing a bit of a shuffle and clean up of some of the boxes and stuff that we've got. But I've got a women's show tomorrow, so I've got to get that one ready. And then we've got a huge shoe show on Monday. Actually, by the time this video comes out, the shoe show will probably be happening. So if you want really good, well, I can't guarantee they're really good shoes, but if you want a really good opportunity to get some good shoes, everything's starting at $3 and it's sudden death. So there's no tile limit on them. Basically, last person that bids gets them. So I'm doing this on behalf of one of my consignees. He just wants it all gone. So just all of this, just go, go, go. Men's, women's, and kids. Just everything we've got. So come on down for a nice little fun experience. We're going to be doing that from probably 3 till 6. Do a 3-hour show. And see how much we can move. Probably have to do another one, I think, as well. But we'll just go boom, boom, boom. Just hard. 10-second auctions, just hard. So exciting times. All right, team, it's all been happening. We've just been doing things and not actually filming. So we've just consolidated all the jackets, so made up a whole much more space up in here. I've got to clean up all this now, which is good because it forces me to do it. We've also been making up some washing bags. We have now finished going through all of the big boxes of that big buyout last year on this side of the warehouse. So that's all done. I mean, things have been sorted into other boxes, but basically done. And then over here we've made some more space, and then starting to get through these empty boxes and just make space. So I'm going to continue with this, and we probably still have about maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 or 7 boxes left of that big buyout to finalize. So that should get done this month. And then that's done. All right, I've got to clean all this up now. I'm just going to try and... A lot of this is just empty boxes with stuff in it, like just bits and bobs. So just consolidate, clean up, so we can walk through here again, and then we've got space back. All right, not as much as I would have liked, but it's good enough. I've also just pulled out a whole bunch of postage. We've actually had a bit more volume come through today, so I'm going to do that because the post is going to be taken around 4:30. And I'll be on my live, so I need to get this done now, and then probably just continue to just prep for the live and things for tomorrow. It's 1 hour out, so yeah. All right, folks, it is time to go live. Wish me luck. Got the recording set up here. Let's do it. All right, team, just finished. We did $965 and about 64 items. I think there might be a little bit more than that. I'm just double checking. I've got to go. I've got to get out of here. I've got to pick color up. So I will see you when I'm looking at you. Ciao. All right, team. All right, team. Just got in. It is just 7 o'clock now. It is absolutely soaking outside. It's going to be very loud in here today. So I do apologize in advance for the sound issues. I've got washing getting picked up at 7:30. I've got e-waste getting picked up 7:30, 8:30, somewhere between there. Hopefully the rain subsides, otherwise it's going to be quite a wet one. A little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Today's plan is I've got all the postage from last night's show, which we'll be focusing on. And then obviously I've got to do the women's show today. Dean and I are going to be sorting through some more stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Crazy weather. So yeah, I'm just waiting for my washing lady to get here. I'll probably just start to pull out a few things and get ready for postage, etc, etc. Yeah, it's wild weather. Winter has really not even delayed. It's just straight into it. A couple of days in and it's hit us like a storm. So in terms of where we're at, oh, it's cold. We have got some good progress. Cold. All right, so we're on 143,747. We've got 78 orders, which 67 of those, I think 65 maybe, 64. 64 is for eBay Live. So there's a good 14 there, which is from the core store. We did have quite a few multi-quantity orders come through last night. Again, very, very grateful for people that continue to buy from us. And, you know, I'll probably, any free time that I get today and for the rest of the week, it's really just going to be spent on prepping for the new financial year. Like I've got to do a fair bit of admin actually, and just getting prepped for that. So there is a lot of things that I can be doing, should be doing, and need to be doing. That's just the standard day in the life, I guess. I do need to film a episode of Get Wired, which I'll probably do. Actually, maybe I'll do that now. Might do that now. Anyway, get my point. All right, team, one thing I wanted to also come back to is talk about how we landed for May 2026, because we didn't have all our results for that. Now, I still got to add a couple of fuel expenses in this one, so it's probably going to be about $300 less than this. But in May 2026, it was actually our best month revenue-wise and one of our best months profit-wise in a long time. So sales, we did 1,580 sales. We did 2,180 listings. That includes eBay Live as well. Revenue, we did $56,762. And cost of good of all of that was $13,118. OPEX, operating expenses, rent, wages, everything was about $37,470. This is probably going to be closer to $38,000 once I finally put on all the fuel and all that. Net profit at the moment says it's $6,173. It's probably going to be closer to about 5.9 or 5.8. I've just got to make sure I just do the cross checks and make sure we've got all the expenses there. But that's where it looks like it's going to land. I've got all the fees from eBay now, so that's why I'm very confident on this now. Average sale price was $35.93. Cost of good was $20.86. That's purely because we've sold a lot of cameras that we've paid like $1,000 for, so that's why it looks diluted a bit. Average profit per item is $3.91, so not much, but a lot of that is because we've done such volume on eBay Live that we're taking a smaller volume, a smaller profit per item, but that's also because we're selling it for like $13. So if you're able to sell, you know, actually this month alone, if I have a look at this, in May, just through our main supplier, we did sell 506 items on eBay Live, and you know the average sale price of those was about $17.30. So that's why you get my point on that. Yeah, per day sales, we averaged 51 sales a day, and revenue was about $1,831 a day. So just wanted to share that. Very good end of the month. Let's see if we can get to the end of the year of FY26 strong as well. We're just going hard this month, selling lots, liquidating, move, go. Because in FY27, things are going to change. Things are going to be different, hopefully for the better. But of course, we don't know that. But I will work towards to make that as best as it possibly can. So I just wanted to play that back. We've done a lot of work to get back to this position, and we're still not out of the woods. I've still got a lot of little challenges I got to work out. But yeah, the business is growing. I love it. So just wanted to share that, folks. Thanks. All right, just had a nice little surprise visit from one of my, I guess he's one of my customers / he's also one of our clients. So like he buys stuff off us and we sell stuff for him. But he just spent a whole bunch of $1 so I'm very grateful again. Another $822, so very good. All right, my washing lady is about to arrive. It's still raining outside, so wish me luck. It's cold. All right, team, so we had a change of flow today. I've done all the, I've got all the postage out. We've got lots of sweaters and jeans going out. And we did have a couple of jackets that someone has purchased, repeat buyer as well, so thank you. That's those two. But in terms of change of plans, eWaste was meant to get picked up today. They've contacted me. It's now going to be tomorrow morning, and it looks like it'll be a switch around, so they'll take and also drop off some for me. I still have my media guy coming today, so we've just got all the media stuff out, which we're going to have to just kind of count before then by 2 o'clock. So yeah, a little bit of shuffling, but that's all good. I'm going to do the postage now, and then we'll get into some of that stuff later. All right, folks, had a few customer things that I've been dealing with, but we're now getting onto the eBay Live stuff. I think long run, now that we're going to be doing shows Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to have to probably double this. What I mean by is get another rack so that between shows I can just roll it out and have them between, because yeah, it's not going to be able to be feasible of just kind of rush. We actually also potentially, not yet, but hopefully we'll be hiring someone just to help with eBay Live. So that's probably happening in FY27. So lots of things happening. All right, folks, eBay Live postage is done. I'm now just going to set up for the women's show, get that ready to go, and then have some lunch, and then do the show at 1 o'clock. And then I've got someone coming at 2 o'clock for all the media, and then it'll probably be just, finishing up for the day, prepping for the next show tomorrow. Just constant rinse and repeat. I'm really loving this because, as I said this last time, I said if I was starting from fresh with all the knowledge that I had right now, we would be basically doing live shows nearly every day, and we would be splitting the stock between core and live. But at the moment, it's not that simple. We have a lot of core that we have to work through. But yeah, I think this is going to be pretty cool going forward. All right, I think we're ready to go. We've got all of this, and then we've got all of this here. And we're basically doing between 10-15 seconds countdown, sudden death. Everything starts at $3. Just fire sale. See what happens. Wish us luck. All right, team, just finished. That was pretty good. It was fast paced. I've got someone about to arrive, so I'm just going to do this quick. It's saying we sold $273 worth plus post, so you've probably done about $400 worth, which I'm very happy with. We sold all of these jackets, which have been taking up rack space. And then we sold all of this as well. So it worked really well. Lots left over, but of course we're going to be doing these weekly. We might even try and bring in another 1 hour of power somewhere, because at this point, like, we just can't sell enough quick enough because I've got so much stock. And like I said, we're trying to make some changes for the new financial year. So some of this stock is mine, some of this stock is other people's, and we're just trying to liquidate it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's more so we're just trying to move it, keep going, so we can focus on what we want to focus on for the new financial year, which we'll talk about a bit later. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. We have been noticing that we're having some issues with some customers buying stuff and then canceling. And we're pretty strict with this kind of stuff because, eBay Live's policy around cancellation is a no-no. We have made some exceptions in some cases, due to circumstances or whatever, but most of the time we're going to be pretty bullish on saying no, because there's been people that bid on items for 2 minutes and then they get it and then they say, oh no, I didn't realize I didn't want it or whatever. Like, just silly stuff. So we are trying to be very, very direct, but also, be understanding. But if you're not wanting to buy things, you shouldn't be bidding on things. So I know there's been a lot of hot debate around this with a few other people I've spoken to, but it's a bit different if, like, they receive the item and it's, damaged or not as described or whatever. But people wanting, bidding on things intentionally and buying 4 or 5 items and then saying, oh no, I realized I don't want them. Well, then that's tough luck. So they shouldn't be bidding on the first place, because it wastes my time and it also wastes the other people's time if they were bidding on it. So very disappointing to see that happen. But yeah, I guess this is part of, what we're going to have to deal with. So yeah, all right, I'm going to get this packed up, and then I'm going to go do the media. The guy's about to arrive, and then we'll finish up with the day. All right, team, media's all gone now. We got $604 for that lot, so very happy with that. That's not all mine. That's some of it is consignment, etc., etc. I've got to now set up the next show, do some filming, do some postage, and then we'll get out of here. Let's do it. All right, team. The show is all set up and finalized. What is this guy doing? Tell you, there's always something going on around here. Anyway, so sorry. I've got the show set up, ready to go. We've got lots of jackets in this one, lots of jackets on this side, lots of tees on this one. Should be a good show. that's all done, ready to go. I've now done all the postage that I need to get done from stuff that's sold for the rest of the day. Next order of business is I've got to reshuffle this for the morning because we've got, yeah, so basically reshuffling all this because we've got pickups coming early, so I just want to make sure it's easy to go because if it's raining again, it's going to be chaos. Dion finished early, well not finished, sorry, he went earlier, didn't mean he finished earlier, he left earlier, he's all done. Tomorrow he's going to be helping do the shoe sorting, getting that ready for the big show on Monday, and I'll be basically probably helping with that. I've got to nick out to backpacks as well tomorrow. I've got a few things on there for the annual giving day, but folks, we've got a lot to do. Lots I've still got to talk about with all of this stuff because my head's going wild at the moment. I've just had a new proposition come across the table. If we want to partner with someone else to do media and video games in eBay Live, so it's all happening. It's all happening. It is crazy how quickly things change in the last three to 4 months. Whew. Just having a moment to breathe. Anyway, let's get this stuff done. I've got to leave here in about 30 minutes, and I'm also meeting up with someone to get some more stock for eBay Live. So anyway, let me go get all this sorted. All right, team, that is a wrap. It's now 4:14. I've got to pack the van and get out of here, but we've just hit $24,645 since starting eBay Live, and it's taken us 104 days. So it's becoming quite a nice chunk. It's now 15% of our 90-day total. So it's a nice big top line revenue increase. Net profit wise, isolated is 14,569. So if I didn't have a warehouse, if I was just doing this at home, I would have made $14,569 after postage fees, etc., etc. So pretty good. And that's why I'm going to be changing a lot of things. Because it just makes more sense. Average revenue across the smaller shows and the big shows is now $704. However, if I just look at the last, if we go via, for the last, let's go for the last month, the average is 927. So, and if I go for the last, so we're almost at $1,000 a show. And like I said, the goal is to get it to $1,000 a week, then get it to, get it to $1,000 a show, get it to $3,000 a week. And the goal is to turn this into about 150,000 every year, which means we've got to be basically doing every quarter 37,500. So we've got a long way to go. But with all the opportunities coming, it's possible. Anyway, Tim, I'm tired. I need a rest. I'm going to get out of here, go home, spend time with Carla, and just take it easy tonight. What a day. Lots of things happening. We're moving the needle in the right direction, making the progress that I want to see. Still things to fix. Still got a lot of work ahead of me, but it's paying off, folks. It's really paying off. All right, I'll see you in the morning. Ciao. And folks, just like that, it was Friday. It is cold this morning. It is actually very cold, but we are here. Whew, it's a bit earlier, actually. I got here a bit earlier. It's 6:45, and today's a bit of an interesting day. I've got some stuff on at Backpacks because they've got their annual giving day, so we'll be in and out. But the plan for today, I believe we have e-waste coming. That should be here around 8. And then, if depending on if I'm getting e-waste, I know they're taking e-waste, then hopefully I can start to work through that. I have postage that I'm going to get into straight away. In terms of non-live items, it was pretty quiet last night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. So, but we're sending out a total of 52 items from last night's, yesterday's stream. And today we have obviously the other stream. And today's prep work is 2 things. Number one, we got to prep all the shoes for the show next week on Monday, and also makeup washing bags. That's the 2 number priorities for prep work. So Dion's probably going to be helping with a majority of that. Next week we have 2 different types of shows. We have a we have the shoe show on Monday, but then Wednesday and Friday my supplier is away for a week, so we're just doing stock that we've got here, backlog of stock. So that will be a mixture of some vintage stuff, some premium stuff, a little bit of everything actually on Wednesday and Friday, and then we should be back to normal routines afterwards. So lots happening, folks. I've just sat down, just quickly answering a couple of messages from some customers, and then I'm going to go get into post, so I can get that done. So we're ready to go for the e-waste, and like I said, I've got to nick out to backpacks a bit today. So I'll jump in and jump out when I can, but yeah, let's get into it. All right, so not too much going out, really just bread and butter, a couple of jeans and some sweatshirts. We did sell this vintage old microphone. That one was gone pretty cool. We got this one through a deceased estate. That one's gone for $131.50, so not too bad at all. All right, I'm getting my stuff packed up. It is actually really cold in here. I'm gonna have to rug up again, I think. Yeah, e-waste should be here between now and the next 30 minutes, I guess. All right, we have a postage outage, which is a little bit frustrating. Unable to use our app. So I'm just going to start packing orders and labeling them, and then I'll print them out later because I just want to keep going. Whew, it's cold. All right, team, we have got the e-waste. It's not much, but I'll take it. It could be full of bangers, who knows? I've got Dion prepping for the shoe show for tomorrow. He's just, basically sorting shoes and putting them into styles and sizing. I'm going to do this right now, and then I'll get back to the post. Hi team, e-waste is done. Look, we got 2 Xboxes, which was pretty good. Can't really complain there. Everything else was pretty light. We only got 1 phone, but we did get a whole bunch of iPads. So it really comes down to if they'll be not locked, and we also got a MacBook as well. So we'll deal with those later. I'm going to go finish doing the postage. Here's all the shoe stuff happening. Dion's learning to love shoes at the moment. Yuck. All right, team, it's been a bit. We've now, it's now after lunch. It's 1:30 actually. All the shoes, not all the shoes, but all the shoes for the show have been done. So we've got all this lined up, ready to go. These are all in sizes. Dion's done a great job doing all this. So this just makes my life a little bit easier for Monday. And we still have more, but we're going to start with this. I might still pick out a few higher end shoes that we've got listed, and also from our higher end section to also add into the show. I'll do that over the weekend, ready for Monday. We've cleaned up some of the boxes as well. We've actually now gone through, we finished all of the boxes from that big vintage buyout. There is stuff still left, but it's stuff like for dry clean or special attention, etc. So that's not really anything else to do, but it's now all been processed. So that's a huge win. It took us less than a year to do 4,500 items. Well, obviously it's not 4,500 because they're not all listed yet, but we've probably listed 4,000. I can probably actually check that. But that's been pretty cool. We've got a pallet back, cleaned up a bit of space, cleaned up the e-waste, made a bit more space here just while we try and get through. Some of these tubs are someone else's, so that's all got to get picked up. Yeah, I got to go to backpacks in about 30 minutes. And Dion will finish up as well, and then I'll be back here for my show. Oh, we're also getting some camera drop-offs today as well, so we ain't done yet. Washing's done too. All right, team, it's now 3:45. I just got back from backpacks. It was our annual giving day today. I think we've raised around $50,000. That's where we're at. We're still going. Obviously, I'm back here now to do the live. Hopefully, there'll be some pretty exciting things I'll be talking about with what we're going to be doing. I do a fundraising campaign for Backpack with Your Kids every year. We'll be aiming for another $20,000 this year, so stay tuned for that if you do want to get involved. I'm just going to get the laptop set up and let's get into it. All right, team, all finished. It was a bit of a quiet show. I think probably because of the long weekend, maybe a few people are away. People got some really good deals, but that's all right. That's all good. I've just quickly tallied up we've done $895.67, 75 orders. So it's about $11.94 per piece. So probably one of our lowest shows, but that's okay. We're going to have highs and lows. But basically from that, if I look at, actually on eBay today, I've only done about 6 sales. It's been absolutely dead. I am going to do a recap on the way home. I'm just quickly checking where our results are at, and then I'll give a recap on the way home. So I'll see you in a jiffy. All right, team. It is a bit dark again, so I do apologize. That's because it is nighttime. Big week. And I tell you, there's been lots of just planning and strategizing and trying to figure out the next 5 moves. Actually, that's a really good book if you haven't read that. But really, this week is really just starting to, obviously we had all our month start activities and finishing the month strong for, which was actually really good for May. But I guess at the moment, I'm just trying to work a couple of weeks ahead, knowing all the things that we're going to be implementing for July. I'm going to have to do a little bit of probably admin work this weekend, I think, just to make sure I'm on top of it. But, things are going well. The week's been not too bad. Today's been absolutely dead, but it is a long weekend, so people are probably gone away. But at the same time, I would like it to be better. We just did an eBay Live. That was a little bit quiet as well, but I think it's probably because people were away for a long weekend. So that's my bad in terms of timing, but I'm still happy with it. We did 895 or whatever I said it was, or 845, which, is probably on the lower end of our average, but I'm happy with it, considering that it's more stock going out, more customers happy, and, we rinse and repeat. But other than that, I think really I am getting very excited for what's to come, but I'm also very, very nervous because it's a very pivotal moment in which, I don't want to go all in, but I also don't want to slow down and miss out. So there's a fine balance between the two. We didn't have any listings, photos for listings today because we were doing cleanup, and we're waiting for that to come back on Monday. On Monday or on Tuesday. I'll be there Monday for the shoe show. So lots of moving pieces. I'm pretty tired. It's been a big week. So I'm not really going to yabber on this too long, but interesting space. And I was a little bit, I get nervous when I'm not here to complain, but because we've been doing about $1,000 shows and we do 800, it does make me nervous because it's like, we're investing a lot of time in this. We're going to be doing more of them. And it's the same thing that happens on eBay. You have your low days, you have your big days. You can't let it dictate the future of, making a logical decision. We know that it works. We know that it's going well. So how do we make it a key component of our business? And how do we make sure we keep feeding that beast and making that beast better? How do we improve? How do we do things better? We take on the feedback from our customers. So look, I'm happy with all those results. There's still a few more things that we got to clean up and make better and all that jazz. And there's still a lot of things that we got to do before the end of June, ready for July. So it's going to be a busy couple of weeks coming up. In terms of dollars, like I said earlier this week, the month we finished really, really strong. Obviously, we just, 5 days into this month, so the numbers aren't really there yet. In terms of this week, which is week 282, we've done we're probably just about to hit 300 sales for the week. That includes eBay Live. And it looks like before I finished the live, we were on about 7,400. At the 800, we're close to 8,600 around there somewhere. So I think we should land close to that 10K mark for the weekend. It really comes down to if it's going to be a busy weekend or a quiet weekend. Either way, we should be hitting our targets for this week, and we're on track to probably still do around $50,000 for this month if we can retain the momentum. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's probably it for me, folks. If you do have any questions, please do reach out. Let me know what you're doing about Live, if you're adding it to your business. Like I said, we're going to be working with some other people for it as well. I had another opportunity come across my table today, actually. Another consignment opportunity to sell some high-end items, which I'm very, very grateful for. And there's lots of moving pieces. I'm restructuring, I'm rebuilding, I'm putting the puzzle back together in a new way things are going to look very different. It's very hard to get to where I want to be at the moment, because we can't just stop and do everything and change. We have to keep things moving while we're making the changes, which makes it a little bit of a friction point. But I think we're going to be able to do it before July. And if I am talking, you know, in riddles, you're going to see it shape up. You're going to see it come together. So just going to have to come with me for the next couple of weeks and see what we do. Very exciting times. Much appreciated of everyone that's been watching, and the comments and the support. If you did want to support me anymore, you can actually become a member, be a team member, support the channel, keeps the lights on, just helps, you know, cover some of the costs. And, you know, we are about to kick off and do our Backpack for Big Kids fundraising, and the money that we earn from YouTube helps pay for some of the gifts and giveaways for that 10-week period that we do the fundraising for. So that's it, folks. Have a lovely long weekend. Well, you would have already had a lovely long weekend by the time this comes out, and I will see you when I'm looking at you. Ciao.